What's up guys, welcome back to our channel, Modeling Success Successfully. Thanks so much for tuning in. I have a quick story for you, and I think that you're going to get something good out of this story too. So check this out. About 3 days ago, one of the customers reached out and said that they needed to restock on some of the items that they were sold out on. So of course I took the order and got the invoices ready, and we made an appointment with the customer that I was going to drop off the items and pick up the payment for it. So what happened was, I went to the appointment on time, but the customer wasn't there. So I had the choice: either leave the products over there and then come back later for the payment, or just take the products with me and come back later to drop off the products when the customer is there to pick up the payment. You know, COD, cash on delivery. If you're not familiar with that term, you should get familiar with it too. COD, cash on delivery. So quick question for you. What would you do? Would you leave the inventory with the customer, knowing that you already have built a reputation with the customer? You have history that, you know, they're not gonna flake, they're gonna pay. One, would you leave the inventory with the customer and come back later for the payment? Or two, would you take the inventory with you and come back later to drop off inventory to the customer and pick up the payment? Which one would you do? Pick up the drop off the inventory now and pick up the payment later, or drop off the inventory later and along with that pick up the payment while dropping off the inventory? You can pass, I'll go after you. Sorry guys, I was giving the cars a chance to pass by. So all right, back to the question. What I did was I actually ended up leaving the inventory with the customer, and I told them, I called them and said, hey, I'm here. They explained that they had things going on. They couldn't be there, which is understandable. Every time you're working with the business owner, they're busy, things are gonna happen, so you gotta understand that. So I didn't pick up the payment. The next day I called and no answer, and I was a little shocked actually. I didn't blow up the phone. I texted also just to remind them, because phone calls can be missed, but text message is always going to be there for you to go back to, and if you have to prove yourself, it's always going to be there for you to show it to them. So what I did was I called, no answer. I stayed patient. The next day, which is today, I called again in the morning to remind them, but I didn't get I actually didn't call. I sent them a message to remind that there's a balance pending, let me know when I can pick up, and obviously I said it in as nice as possible, and still got ignored, no answer. And didn't bug the customer the second time either. And 4 or 5 hours later, I get a call from the customer apologizing that they assumed I have already picked up the payment originally when we decided to meet, when he didn't show up, from his worker. However, I did not do that, simply because the worker did not have enough money and they couldn't figure out what to do, so I had to come back the next day. Long story short, the next day I was supposed to go pick up according to the owner, but I learned my lesson. Instead of just going to the appointment that was made, I called before going. I called, didn't get an answer, and after 4 or 5 hours later, customer called me back, said feel free to go and pick up the payment anytime you like. So yes, I did pick up the payment 3 days after, which is no problem. The relationship actually got stronger, because when I had a chance to bug the customer for the payment, I didn't do that, because it's not about that $400 or $500 now that they owe you. You have to look at the bigger picture. You guys are working, doing business together, and you're going to be working together later on in the future as well. So always look at the bigger picture. Moral of the story is, if you're doing business and your customers owe you money, try to be understandable, but at the same time you have to be nice and firm. You cannot just be nice, you cannot just be firm, because you will run the risk of losing that customer. And if you're just nice, you're running the risk of being taken advantage of in business by other people who don't appreciate the niceness. So it's a fine balance in between nice and firmness. I just wanted to lay that out for you guys, share my experiences, what I went through past couple of days, and everything worked out. I hope that helps you out also with your future endeavors, and if you come across a situation like this yourself too, at least you know I went through it, I shared my opinion, you know how it happened, and you know what to do, what to expect, and how to position yourself. That being said, if you're not a subscriber and you like this kind of subjects, then I really would recommend you to subscribe to the channel and activate that bell notification, and give this video a big like too, because the more likes the video gets, the more people on YouTube get to see the video. The more people see it, the more people can get, you know, have an idea of what it is, how the deals are done, and how to position themselves for the better end of the deal. Thanks so much. This is the channel for motivational, inspirational, and business-minded people. So if you haven't subscribed again, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.